Soft winds carry us back through time, to lands where faith and courage met in the quiet of dawn and the roar of battle. Let us drift slowly into stories of ancient wars, where the hearts of warriors were guided not only by swords, but by devotion, honor, and the gentle whispers of the divine. In these tales, fury is softened by faith, and the echoes of struggle become lullabies of wisdom. Imagine temples bathed in morning light, rivers carrying prayers, and deserts where silence itself feels sacred. Tonight, we listen, not to fear or strife, but to the calm rhythm beneath every story of courage and belief. Let your mind float among these ancient voices, letting the stories settle like soft petals over your heart. Here, in the quiet, even the fiercest battles transform into gentle lessons for the spirit, and every warrior's journey becomes a path to peace. If you feel calm as you listen, let us know where your heart is resting tonight, perhaps under a starry sky or by a quiet river. Subscribe if these gentle stories help you drift into sleep, and let the ancient whispers guide you softly to rest. Soft winds stir the morning mist. The world is quiet as if holding its breath. You float above the fields where ancient warriors once gathered, the earth beneath them still cool from the night. A pale light touches the edges of distant hills, soft and golden, spilling across dew-laden grass. The air smells faintly of damp earth and quiet smoke, a reminder of the fires that may have been long ago. In this stillness, the first prayers rise. They curl like smoke from hidden temples, rising toward the pale sky. Each word, each whisper is carried gently by the wind. They do not call for victory nor boast of strength. They simply speak of courage. They speak of hearts that hold steady, even when the world trembles. You feel the calm of these prayers wrap softly around you, like a warm cloak on a chilly morning. You drift closer to the warriors who stand in quiet rows, faces touched by the first light. Their armor gleams faintly, silver and gold muted by the soft morning haze. They do not speak. Their hands rest lightly upon their weapons, not in tension, but in readiness. Even the clink of steel against leather is hushed, as if the earth itself asks them to move slowly. In their eyes there is a quiet fire. It is not anger nor hunger. It is the gentle flame of faith. Faith in something beyond the body, beyond the world they walk upon. Some whisper to statues of old gods, hands pressed against carved stone. Some trace fingers across charms and talismans, small pieces of the sacred tucked into their clothing. Others simply breathe, letting the rhythm of the morning settle deep into their chest. You feel the rhythm too, slow and calm, like waves upon a hidden lake. The sun climbs a little higher, brushing the tops of trees and the folds of distant hills. Shadows lengthen and stretch, then slowly soften. Light touches the warriors' faces, warming them, and they close their eyes for a brief, sacred moment. Even in the shadow of what is to come, there is a stillness, a peace, a courage that does not shout. It simply exists, like the steady beat of the heart. You drift over the quiet campfires, where embers glow faintly in the morning air. Here, warriors kneel, offering small gestures of devotion, a hand laid upon the ground, a whispered prayer to a river, to a mountain, to a sky that seems endless. Some drop tiny flowers into the water, letting petals float like little stars, carrying their wishes silently downstream. You watch the flowers drift, feeling the gentle movement settle into your own chest, a soft wave of calm. The warriors' minds are as quiet as their surroundings, yet within them courage hums softly. It is not loud or hurried. It is like a song you cannot hear with your ears, only with the heart. They do not fear the coming clash. They do not seek glory. They seek the calm in which their courage may live, even when the wind carries the sound of steel far off, when the ground trembles beneath marching feet. A distant drum echoes faintly through the valley, slow and gentle. It is a heartbeat of the earth itself, reminding you of the passage of time, of the sacred rhythm that flows through all things. The warriors feel it too, their breath matching the drum in and out, soft and measured. In this rhythm they find focus. In this rhythm they find peace. You float with them, breathing in unison, the drum a lullaby of steady courage. Let your gaze wander to the edges of the camp. A small temple sits alone, its walls weathered and golden in the early light. Smoke curls upward from its chimneys, carrying the scent of incense and gentle prayers. Inside, a single flame burns unwavering. It flickers softly, yet it does not falter. You imagine it as the spirit of courage itself, quiet, steady, patient. Even when storms come, it holds its place, a gentle guide through darkness and uncertainty. You drift above the fields where banners flutter softly in the morning breeze. They are not bright or harsh, but muted by dawn's light, colors of earth, sky, and water. Each banner tells a story, a silent testament of devotion and belief. They sway slowly, in rhythm with the wind, in rhythm with the heart of the world. As you watch, you feel your own heart settle, letting tension fall away, leaving only the steady beat of calm courage. The warriors begin to move slowly with purpose that is quiet and deliberate. They do not rush. Each step is measured, each gesture thoughtful. Some adjust their belts, some breathe into the morning air, letting it fill their lungs. You float among them, noticing how even the smallest movements are sacred. Each touch of armor, each tightening of a strap, is a meditation. Each moment is an act of devotion, not to victory, but to the courage that lives in a quiet heart. A soft light spreads across the hills as the sun rises further. You can see distant rivers glimmer, carrying reflections of the sky like liquid mirrors. The wind rustles the trees and tall grass, whispering gentle songs of peace. The warriors pause to listen, some bowing their heads, letting the soft music of nature settle within them. You feel it too, the harmony of the world wrapping around you, each breath a quiet note in a song that has existed for centuries. In this sacred calm, even the idea of battle becomes gentle. The clash of steel, the cries of warriors, exist only as distant echoes, softened by the morning light. You notice the courage that blooms quietly in the heart, a courage that needs no recognition, no applause. It is the courage to be present, the courage to hold faith, the courage to breathe when the world shifts and trembles around you. You drift higher now over the fields and temples, rivers and hills. You watch as the warriors raise their heads, eyes soft, hearts steady. They are ready, though readiness is not a rush or a push. It is a calm knowing, a trust in the quiet strength that has carried them this far. They are like mountains, rooted and unshakable, yet part of the wind and light and flowing rivers. You feel yourself rooted too, anchored in a calm that cannot be shaken. Soft shadows fall behind the hills, lengthening and stretching into gentle forms. The sun is higher now, yet its light remains kind, warm, and nurturing. You float with the rhythm of the morning, letting it settle deep into your chest, where courage and peace meet. You feel the stillness of prayer, the steadiness of faith, the gentle beat of hearts in harmony. And now, as the first sounds of distant footsteps fade into the softness of the dawn, you can let your mind rest. Let the courage of the warriors, the calm of the morning, and the gentle light of faith guide you softly onward. You do not need to move, to act, to rise. You simply float, as if carried by the soft wind itself. Let us drift onward, past the hills and rivers, past the temples and banners. The heart of the world beats gently beneath you. Now rest, as the stars return to watch over the night, and the quiet courage of the dawn settles deep into your soul. The morning has whispered its sacred song, and you may sleep, held in its gentle embrace. Soft bells ring across the temple courtyards, their tones drifting gently on the morning breeze. You float above the stone steps, feeling the coolness of dawn in your hair. The air smells faintly of incense and wet earth, mingling with the scent of carved wood and polished stone. Light spills softly over the temple roofs, touching the edges of carvings, making them glow like whispers of gold. In the quiet spaces between the bells, you hear a hum of life. Warriors gather below, their movements slow and deliberate like ripples on a calm pond. Some bow their heads to touch the cool stone of sacred walls. Others raise hands in silent prayers, letting devotion fill the space between their breath and the sky. The sound of their voices is soft, a gentle murmur, blending with the rhythm of the bells and the sway of the trees. Trumpets sound far away, a low, rolling call that stretches across the courtyard. It is not harsh or demanding. It moves like a wave, guiding the hearts of those who hear it. You notice how the warrior's eyes close briefly at the sound, letting it settle deep into their chest. Even in the presence of loud horns, there is calm. Their hearts do not race. Their spirits remain steady. You feel the same quiet strength, a gentle pulse beneath your ribs, as if the temple itself is breathing with you. The courtyards are wide and open, filled with the soft light of morning. Columns rise like silent guardians, their surfaces etched with ancient stories. You drift along these lines of stone, seeing faces of gods and ancestors carved in calm expressions. They watch over the warriors, over the prayers, over the quiet gathering of life. You feel their presence as a gentle reassurance, as if even in the noise of trumpets and the stirrings of human hearts, there is a stillness that cannot be broken. Some warriors kneel to light small candles, letting the flames dance like tiny suns in their hands. Each flame trembles softly, casting warm circles of light on the ground. The smoke rises in thin ribbons, curling toward the sky, carrying silent hopes and wishes. You watch it drift upward, floating past temple roofs, past banners, and across the hills. You feel your own breath match the rise and fall of the smoke, soft and unhurried, slow as the movement of clouds over the mountains. The trumpets call again, a gentle echo through the arches. You notice how the sound bends around the stone walls, softening as it moves. It is a reminder not of battle but of purpose. Each note carries devotion, each vibration a whisper of dedication. The warriors listen, letting it sink into their bones. They stand taller, not with pride or urgency, but with a quiet confidence, a knowing that calm hearts can guide even the loudest storms. Outside the temple walls, the world stretches into soft hills and quiet forests. Light glimmers on distant rivers, reflecting the sky like silver glass. Birds drift lazily across the dawn, wings catching the sun in slow, careful arcs. You float with them, feeling the gentle pull of wind and light, the harmony of the earth and sky. The temple is a small center in a vast, breathing world, and within it, every sound, every motion seems to hold a sacred balance. You drift among the warriors as they move to join the temple rituals. Some kneel before small statues, hands resting lightly on carved stone. Some trace fingers along etched symbols, feeling the grooves beneath their skin. The motions are quiet, deliberate, as if each touch carries a heartbeat of devotion. The air vibrates softly with incense, smoke, and the faint ringing of bells. You feel your own body relax, mirroring their calm, letting tension fall away like leaves drifting on a still pond. A soft wind rises, stirring the banners hanging along the courtyard walls. Their colors, muted by early light, sway gently. You notice how the movement does not startle the warriors. They watch, eyes steady, breathing slow. You feel the same rhythm settle within you, a quiet wave of presence that carries the calm of the temple outward into the world beyond. The trumpets sound again, and this time, you hear something beneath the notes, a whisper of stories long past, stories of courage that did not shout, of warriors whose devotion guided their hands as surely as any sword. You drift through these stories, letting them wrap softly around your mind. Each tale is a quiet lesson in faith, a gentle echo that reminds you strength can be calm, and duty can be a tender rhythm in the heart. In a corner of the courtyard, a small fountain trickles. Water spills over smooth stones, moving in slow, measured rhythms. The sound is gentle, mingling with the temple bells and the distant trumpet calls. You float above it, feeling the cool spray in your mind, letting it wash over any lingering thoughts. The water carries the essence of patience, a reminder that all things move at their own pace, and that peace is found in observing, not rushing. The sun rises higher, touching every corner of the temple and courtyard. Light glances off polished shields and soft fabrics, making the morning feel golden and safe. Shadows retreat, folding softly into themselves. You drift alongside the warriors as they bow, whispering prayers to the sky and the earth. Each motion is measured, each breath a soft meditation. Even in the midst of preparation, there is no hurry, no tension, only the steady heartbeat of devotion. You notice a small statue at the center of the courtyard, carved from pale stone. Its eyes seem to watch, not with judgment, but with gentle understanding. You feel a quiet warmth emanate from it, filling the space around you with a soft light. The warriors feel it too, and they pause, letting the calm wash through them. You feel your own chest settle with the same steady rhythm, the rise and fall of courage and devotion mingling like soft tides. As the morning stretches on, the temple comes alive in small, quiet ways. Bells continue to chime. Smoke curls gently from incense. Footsteps of the warriors move softly across stone floors. Each sound, each motion carries purpose, yet it is gentle, never rushed. You float through this calm, letting each moment settle into your heart. The temple, the trumpets, the prayers, they are not distraction, but guides, reminding you that calm hearts hold steady even when the world moves around them. Now, as the morning reaches its fullness, the courtyard is bathed in soft golden light. The warriors stand quietly, ready not for war, but for the journey of the day. They do not seek glory. They seek presence, faith, and the gentle strength of devotion. You feel yourself wrapped in the same soft energy, every breath a quiet note in a song of peace. Let us drift onward, past the bells and fountains, past the gentle arches and the slow-moving shadows. The courage of devotion fills the air around you. Now rest, as the trumpets fade into memory and the temple settles into its own quiet heartbeat. The world is calm, the spirit is steady, and your heart is held softly in the gentle embrace of morning prayers. A soft mist rises from the river as morning begins to stretch across the hills. The water glimmers faintly, silver and calm, reflecting the pale light of the sun as it rises slowly over distant forests. You float above the gentle current, noticing how it moves without hurry, carrying the stories of long ago like leaves drifting on its surface. Along the riverbanks, the land is quiet. Tall grasses bend softly in the morning breeze, and wildflowers nod their heads as if listening to the water's whispers. The air smells faintly of damp earth and moss, with a hint of fragrant blossoms carried from the hills. You drift slowly, letting the soft rhythm of the flowing river settle deep into your chest, a quiet pulse that mirrors your own breathing. The warriors come into view, moving along the river's edge. They walk with bare feet on the soft sand, their steps gentle and measured. Each carries not only a shield or a sword, but the calm weight of devotion. Their faces are quiet, thoughtful, touched by the soft glow of the morning sun. You notice how they move as one with the river, neither rushing nor resisting, flowing gently along its path. Some kneel at the water's edge, hands brushing the cool surface. They let it wash over their fingers, watching the ripples spread outward. In each ripple, you can see courage reflected, quiet and steadfast. In each shimmer of light, there is compassion, soft as the petals of a flower floating past. You drift closer, feeling the same calm wash over your own shoulders, letting tension fall away with each wave of water. The river carries more than water. It carries stories, tales of battles fought with not only strength, but with faith. Some warriors once stood here long ago, holding swords lightly in their hands and prayers lightly in their hearts. Their courage did not shout. It did not demand attention. It simply existed, steady as the river, deep as the roots of trees that line the banks. You sense them, their spirits moving quietly along the same current, teaching that bravery and tenderness can travel hand in hand. A soft wind stirs, rustling the reeds and bending the branches of overhanging trees. Birds rise gently from the riverbank, gliding across the sky in slow, graceful arcs. They carry no sound but their own quiet wings. You drift alongside them, feeling the freedom in their flight, the calm in the unfolding morning. The river flows below, steady and unhurried, each ripple a gentle echo of hearts that have stood together through time. Some warriors place small flowers on the water's surface, letting them float downstream. Each flower is a prayer, a memory, a soft expression of hope. You watch as the petals drift over pebbles and under low-hanging branches, carried by the current. You feel the movement in your own chest, a slow, calming rhythm that echoes the pulse of the river. Every petal, every ripple, every whisper of water is a quiet lesson in presence, patience, and the gentle strength of courage. The river widens as it curves around the hills. Shadows stretch across its surface, soft and dark, while the sunlight touches only the tips of rippling waves. The warriors continue along its banks, their reflections shimmering in the water. Each reflection is calm, steady, a mirror of the courage they carry inside. You drift above them, feeling the reflection of your own calm in the silvered river below. Some of the warriors stop to rest on smooth stones, sitting quietly with hands folded in prayer. Their breaths are slow, matching the rhythm of the river. You notice how even the act of resting carries devotion, how stillness can be as powerful as motion. The water flows around them, a gentle guide, teaching that courage is not always in movement, but often in presence. You feel your own body respond, sinking deeper into the softness of the moment, each breath a ripple of peace across your mind. Further downstream, the river passes under an ancient bridge. Its arches are carved with symbols of protection and wisdom, faded yet steady in the light of dawn. Warriors pass beneath it with soft steps, pausing to touch the stone or whisper prayers. You sense the connection of generations, the silent support of those who came before. The river carries their stories onward, and you float with them, feeling the warmth of their courage mingling with the cool flow of water. The sunlight glows brighter, painting the riverbanks in soft gold and green. Tiny fish flash in the shallows, moving quietly with the current. Insects hum faintly, wings brushing against the air. You feel a harmony in the scene, the gentle interweaving of life and water, earth and sky, courage and compassion. The warriors notice it too, bowing their heads briefly, letting the small wonders of the morning remind them of the sacred rhythm of life. You drift with a small group who pauses at a bend in the river. They place hands on the earth, letting the soil connect them to the land. Their fingers trace the lines of stones, feeling textures worn smooth by water and time. Each touch is a meditation, a quiet devotion, a recognition that strength is not only in battle but in connection. You feel yourself mirrored in this moment, your own fingers brushing softly through imagined grass, your mind settling like sediment in calm water. The river continues to flow, widening into a serene pool. The surface is glassy now, reflecting clouds that drift lazily across the sky. Some warriors kneel at the edge, hands lifted in silent praise. Others simply stand, breathing in the gentle air, letting the light of the sun warm their shoulders. You drift among them, carried by the current of their calm, noticing how even in the midst of potential struggle, peace can exist, soft as sunlight on water. Along the edges of the pool, small offerings float gently, leaves, flowers, tiny carved charms. Each carries a story, a hope, a soft prayer. You watch as they drift slowly, spinning in quiet circles, touching the surface lightly before moving onward. The river does not rush them, and neither do you. Every moment is enough. Every ripple is a lesson. Every floating token is a reminder that courage and compassion are not separate, but move together like the river and the wind. A distant drum begins to sound softly, echoing faintly through the hills. Its beat is slow, steady, a heartbeat that matches the rhythm of the river. Warriors lift their heads, listening. Their breaths align with the drum, calm and measured. You feel the pulse in your chest, a gentle reassurance that everything moves in its own time, that strength comes from presence and courage comes from peace. You float above the river as it bends again, moving toward open fields and soft forests beyond. The warriors follow its path, their figures reflected in the water, moving in harmony with the flow. Light glances off their armor and the surface of the river, creating a soft shimmer that feels like quiet magic. You feel the same shimmer inside your mind, a gentle stirring that is neither thought nor worry, only calm, steady presence. As the morning unfolds fully, the river carries the warriors toward the horizon. Their journey is long but unhurried. Every step, every touch, every prayer moves with devotion and care. You float behind them, letting the soft current guide you. You sense that courage does not demand noise and compassion does not demand action. Both exist quietly like ripples in water, felt more than seen, understood more than spoken. Let us drift onward, past the glimmering river, past the kneeling warriors, past the floating flowers and gentle drumbeats. Their stories linger softly in the air, filling your mind with the calm pulse of faith and devotion. Now rest, as the river carries the courage of the past into the quiet heart of your sleep, and the morning light settles gently over your soul. A soft haze rests over the hills as morning stretches across the valley. You float above quiet paths where ancient warriors once walked, each step steady and calm. The air smells faintly of stone and dew, carrying the scent of pine from the forests beyond. Sunlight brushes gently over the land, golden and slow, spilling across the edges of worn shields and distant temple walls. Along a small clearing, the warriors gather. Their movements are deliberate and measured. You notice how their hands rest lightly on shields and armor, not in tension but in gentle readiness. Each piece of metal and leather gleams softly, reflecting the morning light like a whisper. These are not instruments of anger or pride. They are reminders of protection, quiet companions to the heart that holds faith. The first bell rings in a distant temple. Its tone carries across the valley, soft as a sigh. You feel the vibration in the air, deep and steady, settling like gentle waves in your chest. The warriors pause, bowing their heads, letting the sound fill them. In this space, faith is not loud or forceful. It is the quiet weight in the chest that holds steady, even when the world moves and shifts around them. You drift closer, feeling the same calm settle over your shoulders. A soft wind rises, stirring the leaves and brushing across polished shields. You notice how the light touches each one differently, some glowing, some muted, all steady. Each shield is unique, but all carry the same truth. Protection comes not from the steel alone, but from the faith that rests behind it. You feel the lesson flow through your mind, slow and easy, like water over smooth stones. Some warriors kneel by the river that winds through the valley. Their fingers brush the cool surface and the ripples echo their devotion. You watch the movement, small and gentle, letting the rhythm of water and prayer mingle. Each ripple is a reminder that faith spreads quietly, touching every corner of the heart and mind. Courage flows from it, not in bursts or shouts, but as a steady, patient strength. The warriors lift their shields, holding them softly yet firmly. The sunlight glances off their surfaces, casting small, dancing reflections across the ground. You notice how they do not rush, how their motions are calm and measured. Even as they prepare for what may come, their hearts remain gentle, held by the unseen force of belief. You float among them, breathing with the same steady pace, feeling the same quiet protection settle within you. A faint chant drifts from the nearby temple. The words are soft, almost carried away by the morning breeze. You drift closer, feeling them wrap around the valley like a gentle blanket. Each syllable is a thread of faith, weaving a shield around mind and spirit. The warriors pause to listen, letting the chant sink into their bones. You sense it too, filling the spaces between your thoughts, a calm assurance that even when storms arrive, there is safety in stillness. The shields gleam with the light of devotion. Some are etched with symbols of protection, circles, spirals, and stars. Others bear images of gods and spirits, guardians of courage. You float above them, noticing how the designs are not mere decoration. They are prayers made visible, reminders that faith strengthens the heart as much as any armor strengthens the body. You feel the gentle pulse of their intention, steady and slow, guiding your own mind into rest. The warriors begin to move, walking along the valley floor with shields held loosely before them. Their steps are quiet, as if touching the earth lightly, each footfall in rhythm with the soft breeze and the distant river. You float among them, noticing the gentle care in each motion. Even the act of moving is a prayer, a testament to the strength that comes from belief, not from haste or force. Some pause beneath a great tree, its branches stretching wide and still. They place their shields against the trunk, hands resting lightly atop the cool wood. The sun filters through leaves, casting a pattern of light and shadow that dances slowly across the ground. In the quiet, faith feels like a soft pulse in the chest, a shield that exists even when nothing else surrounds you. You feel it in your own body, a calm weight that does not bind but holds you gently. Birds drift overhead, wings catching the sunlight, their flight slow and effortless. They call softly, a reminder that the world continues in harmony, that courage and devotion do not need to shout to be heard. The warriors listen, and so do you, letting the rhythm of their presence and the wind and the distant river carry a sense of peace into every thought. Even in the midst of preparation, there is no fear. There is only steady faith, calm as the sun rising over hills and valleys. The morning grows brighter, spilling light over every shield, every stone, every leaf. You notice how even small gestures, touching a charm, adjusting a strap, breathing deeply, carry devotion. These quiet acts build a shield as strong as any metal, a protection born from steady belief. You float with the warriors, letting each gesture settle into your mind like soft petals on still water. A distant horn sounds, low and calm, not sharp or demanding. It rolls across the valley and you feel its echo in your chest. The warriors lift their shields slightly, adjusting with measured care, but their hearts remain unshaken. You sense the truth in their calm. Faith is a shield that cannot be pierced by noise or motion. It exists within, steady and soft, always ready to hold the spirit safe. The warriors move toward the river again, shields resting lightly against their shoulders. Some kneel, letting the water lap against their hands, each ripple carrying a whisper of devotion. You float above, noticing the gentle reflection of sunlight on the moving surface. The water mirrors the shields, the hands, the quiet strength within each heart. You feel your own chest rise and fall with the same rhythm, the shield of faith extending into your mind, a soft, protective presence. The light spreads fully across the valley now. Shadows retreat gently, folding into themselves. The wind rises softly, rustling leaves and brushing across the still shields. The warriors pause, heads bowed, hands resting lightly on the metal that is now more than metal. It is a symbol, a vessel for devotion, a gentle reminder that courage and protection grow not from the body alone, but from the heart and mind held steady by faith. Soft birdsong drifts from the trees, carrying melodies that rise and fall like small waves. The warriors listen. Their breathing slows even more, matching the quiet pulse of the morning, the gentle rhythm of the river, and the soft rustle of leaves. You drift among them, letting each sound, each motion, each breath settle in your own chest. Peace flows in like sunlight across a still lake, filling every quiet space. As the morning reaches a gentle fullness, the warriors stand quietly, shields resting lightly, faith steady in their hearts. The valley itself seems to breathe along with them, every leaf, every stone, every ripple moving in quiet harmony. You feel your own spirit held in the same gentle balance, steady and calm, wrapped in the soft armor of belief. Let us drift onward, past the river, past the shields, past the quiet warriors whose hearts carry courage without haste. Let the morning light and the soft wind and the gentle pulse of faith wrap around you. Now rest, as the shields of devotion settle into stillness, and the gentle strength of belief cradles your mind and heart in quiet calm. The desert stretches wide and still beneath the rising sun. Sands ripple like soft waves, their edges catching the first light in golden whispers. You float above the dunes, feeling the warmth of the morning sun on your skin, gentle and comforting. The air smells faintly of dry earth and distant flowers, carried on a slow, wandering breeze. Here in the vast openness, warriors gather quietly. They move like shadows over the dunes, their steps light, leaving traces in the sand that the wind will soon smooth. Some kneel, touching the warm earth with bare hands. Others lift small stones or offerings, letting them rest gently on the dunes. Every motion is soft and deliberate, a meditation in movement, a prayer without words. A small fire burns in a circle of stones, its flames low and steady. You drift closer and see how the warriors sit around it, hands resting lightly on knees, eyes closed. The fire does not roar, it whispers, curling smoke toward the clear blue sky. Each wisp rises slowly, carrying devotion and quiet thoughts into the warmth above. You feel the same warmth settle in your chest, a gentle pulse that mirrors the rhythm of the flames. The wind carries soft whispers across the dunes. They might be prayers or perhaps echoes of the desert itself. You listen as they brush your ears, gentle as the touch of sunlight on sand. Some warriors bow, letting the sound move through them, letting it guide the heart. Each whisper is a reminder that faith and attention can be soft and still powerful. Even here in the vast openness, courage is quiet and steady. You notice the shields resting nearby, polished by the morning sun. They do not gleam harshly but glow warmly, touched by firelight and sun together. Some bear carvings of symbols, circles of protection, suns of hope, patterns that reach across generations. Each is a reminder that faith shields the heart as surely as any metal. You drift closer, letting the calm they carry flow gently into your mind, settling like soft sand in quiet hollows. The warriors begin to walk, following a narrow path between dunes. Their feet sink slightly with each step, leaving patterns in the sand. The movement is unhurried, deliberate, as if the desert itself is guiding them. You float alongside, noticing how the light shifts across rippling surfaces, how the shadows stretch and fold softly over the curves of sand. Each step is a prayer in motion, each motion a quiet devotion to balance, courage, and presence. A distant drum sounds faintly across the dunes, low and steady. Its beat is soft, like a heartbeat beneath the ground, moving slowly through the warm air. The warriors pause, heads bowed, letting the vibration settle deep in their bones. You feel it too, a quiet rhythm that calms the mind, reminding you that even amidst vast openness, strength can come from stillness. The drum is not a call to battle, but a whisper of harmony, a pulse of devotion that flows quietly through all things. Some kneel at a small oasis, its waters reflecting the sky and the surrounding dunes. Fingers brush the cool surface, sending ripples outward, carrying soft reflections of the desert and the warriors above. The water mirrors devotion as it reflects light, and you drift along with it, feeling the gentle movement in your chest. Courage does not roar here. It flows like the gentle water, soft and sustaining. The sun rises higher, and small, delicate winds stir the sand, shifting it in slow, soft waves. You notice the shadows of the warriors stretching long across the dunes, steady as the land itself. Each figure carries a quiet strength, a calm attention, a shield of faith that rests lightly but firmly on the heart. You feel it too, your chest rising and falling with the same measured, gentle rhythm. Some warriors pause to light small fires along the path, letting the flames flicker low in the morning breeze. Smoke curls into the sky, soft spirals that move with ease, carrying whispered prayers along the air. You float alongside, watching the flames dance slowly, letting their warmth seep into your mind. Each flicker is a reminder that devotion need not be loud to be powerful, and that quiet acts hold more strength than one can see. The desert stretches endlessly beyond, dunes folding into one another, soft and endless. You drift over warriors as they continue their quiet journey, shields resting lightly, feet sinking softly into warm sand. The sun moves slowly across the sky, tracing shadows and highlights across the landscape. Each shift of light feels like a gentle breath, inhaling calm, exhaling peace. Small birds flit from dune to dune, their wings brushing the warm air. Their songs are faint, delicate, carried lightly across the open space. The warriors pause briefly to watch, letting the small beauty settle into their hearts. You drift with them, feeling the soft wonder in your chest, a quiet reminder that faith and courage coexist with gentleness and care. Even in wide, open deserts, devotion creates a protective, soft space around the spirit. Some kneel to leave offerings in the sand. Stones, flowers, small carved charms. Each is placed with intention, carried softly by attention and care. The desert itself seems to hold them, wrapping them gently in quiet stillness. You watch the patterns form and fade, seeing the soft, unhurried work of faith in every small gesture. Each offering is a shield, each ripple in the sand a prayer, each gentle movement a lesson in calm courage. The wind rises softly, brushing across the dunes and stirring the edges of small fires. You feel its touch on your skin and in your mind, gentle and patient. The warriors lift their heads, eyes closing briefly to breathe in the warm air. The desert seems to exhale with them, soft as candlelight, carrying away tension, carrying in peace. You drift among them, letting the wind settle your thoughts, letting the warmth rest like a quiet hand on your shoulder. The sun reaches its gentle peak, painting the sands in soft gold and amber. Shadows fold quietly into themselves. The warriors stand, shields resting lightly on their shoulders, eyes calm, hearts steady. You float above them, feeling the same steadiness in your own chest. Even in the open desert, even amidst the flickering heat and soft winds, There is a calm strength, a shield made not of metal but of devotion and presence. Soft footsteps trace across warm sand as the warriors move toward a distant hill. You follow gently, noticing how each step is careful, deliberate, filled with attention. The landscape is wide, open, and safe, cradled in soft light. Each dune, each ripple, each whisper of wind feels like a heartbeat, steady and comforting, holding both the desert and your spirit in gentle harmony. Let us drift onward, past the fires, past the whispering winds, past the gentle steps of warriors who move with calm devotion. Let the warmth of the sun, the quiet of the sands, and the soft pulse of prayer settle into your mind. Now rest, as the desert folds softly around you, and whispered prayers hold your heart in quiet, gentle peace. Night falls slowly, like a soft blanket laid over the hills. Shadows stretch gently across the earth, touching trees and stones with a quiet hush. You float above the battlefield, now empty, yet still holding the echoes of those who walked here long ago. The air is cool, carrying a faint scent of earth and distant herbs, a reminder that even the fiercest places are held by gentle presence under the night sky. Above, the stars begin to awaken. They shimmer faintly at first, shy lights peeking through deepening twilight. Then, as darkness stretches fully across the land, countless points of silver scatter across the heavens. You drift among them, feeling their soft glow brush against your mind, each star a small story, a gentle guide. The cosmos watches silently, calm and eternal, and in its stillness you sense a deep serenity. The battlefield below is quiet. Spears and shields lie still, touched by moonlight, their hard edges soften into gentle curves. Grass bends under the cool breeze, moving slowly like waves on a silent ocean. You notice the footprints and markings left behind by warriors, now fading softly into the earth. They are traces, not of fear or fury, but of devotion and courage. Each step is remembered by the land, as if the ground itself holds the calm essence of those who once walked here. Some stars burn slightly brighter, like guiding lanterns above. They illuminate the silhouettes of trees at the edge of the field, casting gentle patterns across the terrain. You feel their light settle on your shoulders, soft as candle glow, reminding you that even in dark times, guidance exists. Courage can rest, and the mind can breathe beneath the patient, quiet gaze of the cosmos. A distant bell chimes softly from a nearby temple. Its sound travels lightly across the battlefield, carrying faint vibrations that merge with the night air. You float closer, letting the chime fill your chest with calm. It is not a warning, not a call to action, only a soft reminder of presence, of faith, of serenity. Even where swords once clashed, there can now be stillness. You notice small constellations forming in the sky. Some resemble warriors poised with calm strength, their shapes traced delicately by silver light. Others are animals, guiding spirits, birds in slow flight, watching silently over the land. Each pattern tells a story, not of triumph or defeat, but of lessons carried through time. You float among them, feeling their gentle guidance settle deep in your mind, as a lullaby sung by the universe itself. A cool wind brushes across the field, moving slowly over shields and stones. It carries whispers of ancient prayers, soft as silk, brushing past your ears. The whispers tell of patience, courage, and gentle devotion. Even in the absence of sound, you can feel their rhythm, a steady pulse that mirrors your own slow, calm breathing. Each inhale draws in serenity, each exhale releases tension into the night. Some of the fallen shields shimmer faintly under the starlight, reflecting tiny points of silver. You drift above them, noticing how even stillness can hold beauty. Each shield is a reminder that protection is not only physical, but spiritual, that courage is not always loud, and that devotion can rest quietly, as steadfast as the stars above. In the center of the battlefield, a small fire flickers quietly. Its flames are low and gentle, and smoke drifts in soft tendrils toward the heavens. Warriors long gone once gathered here, perhaps to pray or to share a quiet moment of rest. You imagine their hearts, steady and calm beneath the weight of duty. The fire seems to carry that calm now, holding it in the night air, soft as a lullaby for the land itself. The stars reflect faintly on the edges of the stream that winds through the battlefield. You float above the water, watching silver points shimmer in gentle ripples. Each ripple mirrors the constellations above, a quiet echo of the heavens in the earth. The reflection flows slowly, bringing calm to everything it touches. You drift with it, feeling your thoughts settle like sediment in still water, soft and slow, emptying all tension into the gentle current. A lone owl glides across the field, wings brushing softly against the cool air. It lands quietly on a stone, eyes reflecting starlight. You sense its stillness, the quiet patience in its gaze. It watches without judgment, without hurry, reminding you that even when the world seems vast and silent, observation itself can bring peace. Your mind feels held in the same calm attention, breathing in the serenity that night brings. Some distant candles flicker in the temples beyond the hills, their tiny lights trembling softly in the cool air. You drift toward them, noticing the delicate reflections on the ground, the soft glimmer across distant rooftops. Each light is a small prayer, carried upward toward the watching stars. You feel your own heart echoing these small flames, steady and gentle, a soft rhythm guiding you toward rest. The night deepens. Shadows fold into one another, blending seamlessly with soft starlight. The field breathes slowly, as if aware of every ripple, every shimmer, every whisper of wind. You notice how calm the earth is here, even in the places where once great fury was known. Courage exists quietly, courage flows gently, and the lessons of devotion and faith settle over the land, soft as moonlight. The constellations shift slowly, tracing new paths across the sky. You drift with them, feeling the pull of gentle motion, the slow passage of time. The stars guide without force, illuminate without heat, and remind you that even the darkest nights hold serenity. Every flicker, every spark, every soft glow is a story of presence, of quiet understanding, of rest. A distant drum begins, low and rhythmic, carried softly on the night wind. Its pulse matches the gentle breathing of the earth and the slow rise and fall of your own chest. The warriors of old once felt this pulse too, letting it ground their minds amidst challenges. You float above, letting it guide your thoughts into calmness, letting tension and worry dissolve into the gentle rhythm. The battlefield is silent now, held in quiet harmony beneath the stars. Ripples in the stream shimmer, small fires flicker softly, and distant temple bells echo faintly in the hills. You notice how even absence can be presence, how stillness can hold strength, how the quiet gaze of the cosmos can cradle hearts that seek calm. You feel yourself drifting, carried by the gentle night, embraced by the soft lessons of patience, courage, and devotion. Let us drift onward, past the field, past the small fires, past the watching stars. Let the night settle over you like a soft cloak. Let the silver glow of constellations fill your mind with calm. Now rest, as the stars keep silent watch, and the echoes of faith and devotion flow gently into your dreams, cradling your heart in quiet peace. Twilight spreads softly across the valley, brushing hills and trees with muted colors of rose and lavender. You float above a quiet path where the earth seems to hum gently under the weight of history. Along this path, a line of warriors moves slowly, their footsteps blending with the rhythm of the fading light. Each step is measured, calm, deliberate, and carries with it a sense of devotion that rests softly in the air. The soldiers' feet touch the ground lightly, yet each step leaves a trace of intention. You drift closer, noticing how their pace is not hurried but steady, like the soft pulse of a river flowing over smooth stones. Shields sway gently against shoulders, catching the remaining light, reflecting small glimmers of gold and silver. The armor is quiet, polished by care, not shine. It hums with the presence of faith more than with the noise of battle. A distant bell rings from a hilltop temple, its tone slow and sonorous, echoing across the valley. The sound carries with it a gentle encouragement, a reminder that discipline and devotion can exist in harmony. You notice how the marching soldiers seem to breathe with the rhythm of the bell, inhaling calm, exhaling quiet courage. Each footfall becomes a meditation, each pause a soft prayer, and you feel your own heartbeat settle into this gentle cadence. The path winds gently along a river that mirrors the twilight sky. Water ripples slowly, carrying reflections of trees, shields, and faces illuminated by the fading sun. The soldiers march along its edge, their movement harmonious with the current. You drift beside them, feeling the soft pulse of devotion that moves quietly with every step. Courage here is not loud. It is patient and still, flowing alongside discipline like a gentle stream. Some warriors pause to touch the river, letting their fingers brush the cool surface. Ripples spread outward, reflecting both the stars that will soon appear and the fading sunlight. You sense how this act, small and tender, carries meaning. It is a prayer in motion, a soft rhythm of respect for life, for the earth, and for the quiet strength that guides each heart forward. You float with them, letting the gentle movements settle in your chest, soothing each thought with calmness. The line of soldiers stretches into the distance, soft against the hills and meadows. Small lanterns begin to glow, light flickering in rhythm with the soft steps. Each lantern seems to hold a tiny flame of devotion, a reminder that faith is both protection and guidance. You drift above, noticing how even the smallest light holds steady, reaching into the shadows, creating pockets of serenity along the path. Birdsong fades with the sun, replaced by the whisper of evening wind. The air carries the scent of pine, earth, and distant flowers, gentle fragrances that mingle with the soft rhythm of footsteps. Each breath of the warriors rises and falls in calm unity, and you feel the same slow pulse in your own body. Courage does not need to roar. It exists in quiet motion, in steady steps, and in faith that carries forward, unwavering and soft. Some shields bear carvings and symbols, circles of protection, spirals of guidance, stars of hope. You notice the light touch of hands as warriors adjust their armor, polish surfaces, or rest lightly upon emblems that have passed through generations. Each gesture is slow, deliberate, a form of devotion as sacred as any prayer. You drift alongside these motions, letting their steady rhythm settle deep within, a gentle anchor for your mind. The path curves into a small forest. Trees sway lightly in the evening breeze, leaves brushing softly against one another. Shadows fold gently over the ground, merging with lantern light and polished shields. You float among the trees, sensing how the soldier's presence does not disturb the natural calm. Every step is careful, intentional, a slow dance between devotion to duty and harmony with the land. The quiet discipline of this march carries with it a soft, reassuring energy that you feel settle like a blanket over your shoulders. A faint drumbeat rises from a distant hilltop, slow and measured. You notice how the soldiers' feet respond naturally to the rhythm, without haste or strain. Each step matches the pulse of the drum. Each pause holds the same patience, and you sense the ancient wisdom embedded in this simple movement. That faith can be expressed through action, that courage can flow through discipline, and that quiet attention carries power far beyond noise or haste. Lantern light glows softly through the trees, reflecting on shields and polished armor. You float above the line of soldiers, noticing the way shadows fold in gentle patterns across the path. Each lantern seems to whisper a prayer, each reflection a silent blessing. Even in motion, there is stillness here, a calm presence that flows through every step, every breath, every heartbeat. You feel it too, a slow and steady peace that settles in your chest and mind. The march continues through meadows, where dew begins to form on grass and flowers. Tiny droplets catch the lantern light, sparkling softly like stars fallen to earth. You drift closer, feeling the rhythm of walking, breathing, and the quiet flow of faith merging into a single, gentle motion. Each drop of dew, each flicker of light, each soft step becomes part of a meditation that holds your mind and heart in stillness. Some warriors pause to kneel briefly, touching the earth or offering a whispered prayer. The air vibrates softly with devotion, a gentle presence that lingers long after the words fade. You float above them, feeling the calm wrap around your chest, around your thoughts, around your mind. Here, even discipline and duty are infused with tenderness, each action a soft guide for courage and compassion. The line of soldiers stretches into the distance, slowly merging with twilight and the rising glow of stars. Their march is steady, continuous, a soft flow that carries both strength and gentleness. You drift among them, letting their presence merge with your own sense of calm. The rhythm of footsteps, the flicker of lantern light, the gentle sway of shields, all settle together into a lullaby for the mind and heart. The moon rises, casting silver light across the field and the path. Shadows soften further, edges blurred by gentle illumination. You float above the scene, sensing the harmony of motion and stillness, the quiet courage and patient devotion that moves through every step. Faith here is not shouted or displayed. It rests softly, like the moonlight on the grass, unbroken and serene. The drumbeat fades, replaced by the gentle whisper of wind and the occasional flicker of lanterns. The soldier's line continues, unwavering yet peaceful, carrying the lessons of discipline, attention, and quiet courage. You feel your own chest rise and fall in the same rhythm, each breath a soft echo of the sacred march below. Let us drift onward, past the lanterns, past the shining shields, past the slow steps of devoted warriors. Let the rhythm of their march and the soft guidance of their faith settle into your mind. Now rest, as the twilight deepens and the stars rise fully, carrying the quiet courage of the sacred march into your dreams and cradling your heart in gentle peace. Night is soft around the hills, with a gentle hush that drapes the world in quiet shadows. You float above a path where temple doors glimmer faintly, kissed by the first touch of moonlight. The air carries the faint scent of incense, mingling with the cool evening breeze. Each breath you take is calm, slow, and gentle, carrying the subtle warmth of devotion into your chest. Through the open doors of temples, soft light spills outward, dancing across stone floors and polished walls. You drift closer, noticing how the glow touches carvings of ancient symbols, sacred spirals, and serene faces. The light moves gently, as if alive, illuminating not only the physical world but the quiet corners of thought, brushing away the weight of unrest. Even in places touched by conflict, the glow brings peace, a reminder that calm and devotion can exist alongside courage. A distant drum begins softly, almost imperceptibly, and you feel the rhythm in your chest. The cadence is slow, steady, carrying the resonance of sacred spaces and the gentle flow of prayer. Across the battlefield below, the haze of long-past skirmishes is softened by the silver moon, and you notice how the light filters through mist and shadow alike. Each ray becomes a gentle hand, touching hearts that once carried worry, carrying them toward serenity. Soft winds move through the valley, brushing over scattered stones and quiet streams. You drift with the wind, sensing how it carries small whispers of devotion, faint as silk, across both temple floors and distant plains. The echoes of divine light touch all in their path. The glint of sword edges long laid to rest, the petals of flowers near temple steps, and the calm faces of those who once walked here with purpose and faith. Lanterns flicker along temple corridors, casting shadows that move slowly across carved pillars. The light plays delicately, highlighting the smooth curves of sacred symbols and the gentle faces of deities. You notice that even in the silence, there is a rhythm, a pulse that flows from candle flame to heart, from reflection to mind. Each glimmer is a soft message. Courage and devotion can coexist quietly, like a river flowing under moonlight. The battlefield below shimmers under the same silver glow. Stones and shields, long left untouched, catch faint traces of light. You drift closer, letting the glow wash over your thoughts, softening tension and dissolving hurried images. Even in spaces where fury once surged, the light moves gently, offering calm in its reflection. It does not command or guide harshly. It simply rests, patient and serene, illuminating the quiet courage that has always endured. Through open temple doors, you glimpse figures kneeling in devotion, their gestures soft and deliberate. Fingers brush stone altars, lips part in gentle whispers. You feel the rhythm of their calm intentions, steady and slow, like the tide brushing against the shore. Their faith seems to ripple outward, touching the world with quiet warmth. Each breath they take, each flicker of candle flame, mirrors the peaceful pulse of the night itself. A faint stream winds past both temple and battlefield, its surface reflecting the soft glimmer of starlight and moonbeams. Water ripples gently around stones, carrying reflections of faith and courage in slow motion. You drift above the stream, letting the smooth, flowing rhythm anchor your thoughts. Even the smallest disturbance in the water becomes part of the quiet story, a gentle reminder that life and devotion move in harmony, flowing together like calm currents under divine light. Soft voices echo faintly from temple halls, chanting prayers that rise like mist into the night. The sound mingles with distant bells, each note lingering and folding softly into the evening air. You float with these sounds, letting them settle in your chest, letting every vibration smooth the edges of lingering worry. Even echoes of devotion from the past seem to ripple through space and time, reminding you that peace exists beyond any storm, beyond any tumultuous heart. Some shields along the battlefield reflect the light in a way that seems almost alive. You notice subtle patterns in the reflections, stars, spirals, symbols that carry meaning without words. You float closer, allowing the soft illumination to touch your own mind. The light carries no weight of expectation. It simply reminds you that courage, faith, and serenity can coexist, and that the quiet presence of divine guidance is always near, even when unseen. Through temple corridors, you glimpse more soft flames, their reflections dancing on stone walls. Each candle seems to echo the same lesson. Devotion is calm, steady, patient. It does not rush, does not demand. Its gentle presence fills the space, carrying warmth into shadows and providing a soft rhythm for hearts to follow. You feel this warmth settle in your own chest, each breath drawing in serenity, each exhale releasing tension into the night. The moon rises higher, spilling silver light across the hills, temples, and streams. Shadows blend softly, edges folding into one another, illuminated by the divine glow. You drift above the battlefield, noticing how every mark of past courage is softened now, touched by gentle light. Even echoes of struggle are calm under this illumination, and your own mind follows, becoming quiet, rhythmic, and steady. A distant bell rings again, its tone slow and low, carrying across both temple and field. The sound blends with the whisper of wind, with the soft ripples of the stream, with the flicker of candle flames. You float in this gentle symphony, noticing how light and sound, devotion and reflection, all weave together into a fabric of serenity. You sense that peace exists not in the absence of struggle, but in the quiet understanding and presence that carry you through every moment. Lanterns flicker on temple steps, throwing soft points of light across stones and carvings. Each lantern seems to hum with gentle intention, radiating calm across the space it touches. You drift above them, letting your thoughts settle, letting your mind absorb the gentle rhythm of illumination. Every reflection, every shimmer, every tiny movement of flame or ripple becomes a soft meditation, guiding your heart into rest. The battlefield and temples share the same soft light now. Shadows and silver, stone and water, flame and reflection, all combine into a calm rhythm that stretches across the night. You float with it, feeling each heartbeat slow, each breath deepen. The echoes of divine light touch all that exists here, moving softly and patiently, like a lullaby for both earth and spirit. Let us drift onward, past the glimmering temple doors, past the streams and lanterns, past the quiet battlefield touched by gentle light. Let the calm pulse of faith and devotion settle into your mind. Now rest, as the silver glow of stars and candlelight cradles your heart, carrying the gentle whispers of divine presence into your dreams, soft and serene. Twilight drifts across the valley, softening edges of stone and grass, painting the sky in pale lavender and silver. You float above a quiet path where echoes of past battles linger, yet the air is calm, carrying only whispers of wind and faint bird calls. Each breath feels slow, gentle, a soft invitation to settle into peace. Here, even the memories of conflict seem hushed, folded into the quiet rhythm of the evening. Along the path, small streams trace silver lines through the earth, their waters murmuring softly over smooth stones. You drift beside them, listening as each ripple carries a gentle lesson. Between every clash, every moment of tension, there is a pause. A pause where the heart rests, where spirit finds calm, where the mind breathes in stillness. It is in these moments that courage and faith meet, not in the heat of fury, but in the quiet that follows. You notice warriors who once carried heavy shields and swords now sitting beneath olive and fig trees, their armor resting lightly at their sides. Some trace fingers over carvings on their swords, others close eyes and tilt faces to the breeze. The wind carries the soft scent of earth and flowers, and you feel how this gentle pause nourishes more than bodies. It touches hearts, mends unseen wounds, and quiets restless thoughts. Across a nearby meadow, lanterns flicker faintly as dusk deepens into night. Each small flame seems to hold a soft promise that peace is always near, even in places where conflict has once roared. You drift closer, noticing how the glow touches faces and flowing robes, reflecting in calm eyes. In these moments, faith becomes a quiet companion, not a call to action, but a gentle hand guiding the spirit towards serenity. A distant river hums in gentle currents, its waters moving slowly around smooth stones. You float along its surface, feeling the rhythm of its motion match your heartbeat. Each ripple, each swirl of water reminds you that stillness follows motion, and rest can come even after exertion. Between the sounds of battle, real or imagined, there exists this river of calm, flowing quietly, endlessly, carrying the strength of reflection with it. Soft drum beats echo in the distance, not of war, but of rhythm and meditation. Each beat is measured, slow, and steady, blending with the whisper of the wind and the gentle rustle of leaves. Warriors kneel, hands folded, eyes closed, listening to the cadence of the night. The drum carries no hurry, no pressure, only the soft pulse of patience. You drift among them, allowing each heartbeat of sound to settle into your own chest, harmonizing thought and breath. The horizon softens under the pale light of the rising moon. Shadows stretch slowly, melting into one another. Here, even the sharp edges of memory feel gentle, softened by silver light. You notice birds gliding silently above, their wings brushing air as quietly as a prayer. They are spirit guides in motion, reminders that every pause carries meaning, and that peace can flow into even the most turbulent hearts. Along the path, small shrines glow with flickering candles, each flame steady and calm. Warriors and travelers alike stop to touch the stone, bow lightly, or whisper a prayer. You float beside them, feeling the warmth of devotion settle into your mind. In these simple gestures, faith becomes more than belief. It is a soft shield for the soul, a quiet anchor amid the stirrings of past strife. Through the open temple doors, you glimpse figures arranging incense and offerings. Smoke curls in gentle spirals, carrying scent and intention into the night air. The light from lamps casts soft shadows along walls, highlighting the carvings of serene faces and ancient symbols. Each movement is slow, deliberate, a meditation in motion. You drift closer, letting the soft patterns of light and shadow guide your thoughts into their own rhythm, slowing every pulse. Even on the battlefield below, peace has left its quiet mark. Shields lean against stones, swords rest gently on the grass. The air carries only the soft rustle of leaves and the hum of crickets. You notice the subtle beauty in the stillness, that courage and reflection are not enemies but companions. Each moment of rest, each breath of calm, renews the strength that will rise again if needed, yet honors the spirit here now in stillness. Lanterns along the river shimmer in reflection, doubling the glow of devotion. You drift above the waters, letting each flicker touch your mind and heart. The gentle illumination moves slowly across faces and robes, across shields and stone, a soft reminder that light can heal, soften, and guide without demand. You feel its warmth, letting it carry the edges of tension away like leaves drifting on a slow current. Soft footsteps echo on distant temple steps, each one measured, unhurried. They blend with wind and water and faint bird song, creating a lullaby of motion and stillness. Warriors pause, breathing with care, listening to the cadence of their surroundings. You float among them, sensing how even in action there is space for peace, and in each pause, strength and courage are restored quietly, invisibly, gently. Above the valley, stars begin to sparkle, soft and patient in the darkening sky. Their light touches the path, the temples, the river, and the trees. You drift with the starlight, feeling its calm flow through your thoughts. Each star is a quiet witness to devotion and reflection, reminding you that even in the smallest moments between struggle, the universe offers gentle guidance. The moon rises higher, casting silver across meadows and streams. The soft glow falls across kneeling figures and resting warriors, illuminating their devotion, their moments of pause. You notice how every gesture, every quiet thought, every ripple in the water carries serenity. Even the faintest whisper of prayer becomes a bridge between action and rest, between courage and calm. Let the gentle drum of river, wind, and candlelight settle in your chest. Let the whispers of devotion and reflection float across your mind. Each moment of pause carries its own sacred rhythm, soft as petals on water, quiet as the space between breaths. You drift along, cradled in the soft light, carried by the peace between clashes, letting every thought rest, every heartbeat slow, every worry dissolve. Let us drift onward, past the temples and rivers, past the resting warriors and flickering lanterns. Let the calm pulse of reflection and the quiet warmth of faith settle into your mind. Now rest, as the stars rise fully above, as the silver moon glows softly, and as the gentle peace between clashes carries your spirit into dreamlike serenity. The sun dips low behind distant hills, casting long, soft shadows over quiet valleys. You float gently above fields and streams, where the day's warmth fades into a serene twilight. The air carries a soft hush, as if the world itself is exhaling, letting the busy rhythms of the day settle into calm. You feel your own breath slowing in harmony, matching the gentle pulse of evening. Along the pathways, the footprints of warriors are still visible, pressed softly into earth and sand. Yet now, they move with ease, returning from exertion to places of rest. You drift beside them, sensing how each step becomes lighter as the light fades. Even the sharp edges of armor and weapons seem softened by twilight, their metal reflecting a gentle shimmer, not of conflict but of reflection. Temples rise quietly against the dimming sky, their stone walls touched by fatting gold and the first hints of silver from the moon. Lanterns flicker along steps, casting pools of calm light. You drift closer, feeling the warmth of devotion that lingers here, soft and unobtrusive. Candles burn steadily, and the scent of incense flows like a gentle stream through open doors, filling spaces with serenity. The air itself seems to sigh with quiet reverence, carrying the prayers of the day into night. Along the river, waters shimmer in the twilight, reflecting streaks of orange, pink, and silver. You float above, letting your gaze follow the currents as they move slowly around smooth stones. Each ripple carries stories of courage, patience, and quiet reflection, winding gently toward the horizon. Even the rush of battle, now past, leaves its mark not in tension, but in ripples of endurance and faith. You feel the same calm settle within your chest, like the water carrying away all restless thoughts. Warriors pause beneath olive trees, fig trees, and flowering shrubs. Some kneel, tracing hands over stone. Others close their eyes to inhale the soft air of dusk. You drift alongside them, sensing the rhythm of hearts slowing, settling into gentle calm. There is no hurry here, no expectation. Only the soft unfolding of evening, the quiet return of spirit to rest. Each gesture, each whisper carries a soothing weight, softening the mind like petals falling onto still water. Lanterns along temple corridors glow faintly, casting long, soft shadows on carved stone. The faces of deities carved into walls seem luminous in this gentle light, serene and patient. You float closer, letting the soft illumination brush against your thoughts, dissolving tension like mist over the hills. In the twilight, even memories of past struggles feel softened, carried by the warmth of reflection and devotion. The first stars emerge in the night sky, pale and patient. Their gentle light stretches across hills, rivers, and temples alike, touching every resting warrior and traveler. You drift among them, feeling their calm presence wrap softly around your mind. Each star becomes a quiet companion, a soft reminder that courage, faith, and reflection live beyond the moments of action, patiently enduring through the night. A distant drum hums slowly, not in urgency, but in rhythm with the slowing world. Its low beat blends with the sigh of wind through branches and the quiet lapping of river waters. Warriors and travelers alike pause to listen, letting the soft cadence settle into their chests. You drift beside them, feeling the rhythm harmonize with your own heartbeat, guiding thoughts into stillness, inviting a gentle surrender to calm. Small streams reflect the glimmering stars and fading sunlight, tracing silver lines through meadows and gardens. You float above them, noticing how every ripple softens into the next, carrying reflections of devotion and courage. The water moves without hurry, mirroring the flow of rest and reflection that spreads across every resting heart. Even the stories of battles past now move like these ripples, gentle, flowing, serene. Through open temple doors, soft voices rise in quiet prayer. Each word drifts upward, mingling with the night air and the silver light of stars. You feel their calm wash over you, steady and patient. The prayers are not hurried or loud, only gentle murmurings of gratitude, reflection, and hope. They carry a sense of closure like the final brush of a painter's hand, leaving spaces full yet uncluttered, ready for calm to enter. The moon rises fully now, spilling silver across meadows, temples, and rivers. Its light touches resting warriors, reflecting in their eyes and on the smooth edges of armor laid carefully aside. You drift among them, sensing how each moment of rest becomes sacred, how the fading light carries reassurance, healing, and serenity. Even the lingering echoes of day's fury soften, touched by silver calm, fading into quiet understanding. Lanterns along paths flicker as shadows lengthen, mingling with the gentle glow of fireflies and the first glimmers of starlight. The air is filled with soft fragrance, a mixture of blooming flowers, earth, and incense. You drift slowly, letting each scent, each soft movement of air carry you deeper into relaxation. Every flicker of light, every whispered breath becomes a lullaby for the heart, a gentle guide toward rest. Above the hills, night creatures move quietly. Birds return to trees, foxes pause in meadows, and insects hum their soft evening songs. Their gentle presence mirrors the calm that now blankets the valley, following warriors home, following thoughts into stillness. You drift among these creatures, feeling the slow, deliberate rhythm of night enter your mind, slowing every thought, every heartbeat, every breath. The rivers, temples, and lantern-lit paths merge into a single ribbon of calm. Flowing across the landscape, you drift above it, floating alongside the twilight glow that touches every heart and soul. Even the memories of struggle now fold gently into the soft darkness, carried by quiet reflections, by prayers, and by the patient light of stars and moon. Let the gentle glow of lanterns, the shimmer of rivers, and the soft pulse of twilight carry your thoughts. Let the whisper of prayers and the sigh of wind cradle your mind. Every heartbeat, every ripple of air, every flicker of light draws you deeper into calm. The warrior's souls, returning to rest, show that even after exertion, peace is always near, patiently waiting to enfold the spirit. Let us drift onward, past temples and rivers, past lanterns and resting hearts, carried by the soft light of stars and moon. Let the twilight of warriors' souls settle in your mind, bringing calm to every thought and warmth to every corner of the heart. Now rest, as night fully descends, as gentle silver touches all around, and as your spirit floats into dreams, serene, soft, and fully at peace.